Hi guys, today I'm going to talk what can Kerrigan do for her allies. First of all, there is a passive bonus, and passive bonus is of course her creep, which gives enhanced attack speed and also life regeneration for all ground units, Zerg, Terran, Protoss. And that's especially good for commanders that have no possibility of regenerating on their own, or some other things that can regenerate their whole damage. First of all, there's the Protoss units, except the Karax. Karax is repair beam, but Artanis, Vorazun, Alarak, Phoenix, and Zeratul, once their hull is damaged, shields can be recharged, of course, but once they receive hull damage, they cannot recharge on their own, so that health regeneration provided by Kerrigan's creep is good for them, and also, of course, the enhanced attack speed. And also there are some Terran commanders like Raynor's mech, especially Arcturus's mech, because Arcturus has principal. If you go principal proletariat and, for example, go siege tanks or Vikings, they are pretty gas intensive, so it's hard to max on them. So if you have to repair, you spend additional resources. So Kerrigan's creep really is good for these things. And of course, when you P1 Kerrigan, Malevolent Matriarch, creep bonuses are even better, double the effect. But what is the greatest thing that Kerrigan has and benefit for allies is Omega Network, and that's why P1 is actually Malevolent Matriarch. He's not the best of the prestiges, because its disadvantage is that the Nidus and Omega networks are unavailable. And what does Omega do? So Omega is, first of all, rare and is free only when you build initial mount, and it's 150 minerals and 200 gas. So that's why some players don't build Omega when they go air, and they go Mass Muta and or Broodlords, or both, because first of all, air units cannot use the Omega network, and second of all, they are pretty gas intensive, so they don't want to spend gas on Omega. But still, I always, even if I go air, I always build 2 Omegas minimum, because it helps ally, and also it allows me to micro Kerrigan separately from the army if needed. So it's especially good on some maps, like on Missed Opportunities or Mal Warfare. So I always build Omega, and I think you should do it too, because having at least one Omega network is a pretty good thing. And except pretty much unparalleled mobility, because it pops out instantly. It's only 60 seconds cooldown. So if you, for example, have 6 Omega networks, then you can on average pop out worm every 10 seconds. It also provides detection. So if your ally, for example, doesn't have detector or lost it, just pop out a worm, you'll solve the problem. It spreads creep around, and inside the Omega, the effects are the same as on creep. Of course, when they're inside, the units cannot shoot, but they will regenerate life and also be protected from some spells and mutators, like, for example, for if units get irradiated by science vessel, that's pretty nasty, especially for some like if for, I don't know, Mengsk bio or Raynor's bio. So you can units that have a small amount of HP, so you can then get your army into the Omega, and there they won't be receiving damage. And the same thing with Black Death. Omega won't heal, of course, the Black Death, so once unit pops out, it will start receiving damage again, but while inside it won't receive damage. And also you can use the Omega networks as a quick refuge from the spells like Hybrid Dominator's Psy Blast that does 300 damage, and also Raven Seeker missiles, spells like that. And for mobility, for the commanders that don't have drops, like for example Nova drops units where she wants, but for commanders that have units that pop out of the production facilities, you may pop a worm next to that production facility, so ally can rally their production into it, so units can automatically, when they are built, go inside and then can pop them out anywhere on the map where you put a worm. So that's a pretty good thing. You can help ally with the mobility additionally, and also Mega Network can tank pretty big because they are 1000 HP, unlike the normal Nidus. This is only I think 150 or 250, I forgot, but a lot less HP. So yeah, Omega Network is a really good thing. And also there is a assimilation aura, the third thing that Kerrigan has for allies, because when Kerrigan assimilates, kills enemy units and assimilates into minerals and gas, it assimilates for herself and also for allies. So also provide additional money, especially Desolate Queen. That resource drop is doubled, resource simulation is doubled. Yeah, and speaking of Desolate Queen, for her especially, it is good have a Omega Network, because of course it's doesn't have that mobility as other prestige because she cannot leap. Okay, so that's it. Now I'm gonna say a few things about the specific interactions with some specific commander interactions, like first of all Abatur. Abatur has Nidus, but it's expensive. It's normal Nidus, not Omega, so I use it only when I'm P3 to have mobility for my queens. Okay, because I'm building only queens, I don't have other expenses, so I can pop Niduses across the map to make the queens more mobile, to collect biomass and become brutalisks. But when paired with Kerrigan, level 8 or above Kerrigan, because on level 8 Kerrigan gets Omega, before level 8 Kerrigan also has normal Nidus, and Abatur also gets the ability to build Omega Network, and even if paired with Malevolent Matriarch, so that's really good, because Kerrigan has lost her Nidus, but Abatur hasn't. Yeah, that's and Blizzard did when they made the Prestige. They simply removed the algorithm that allows Kerrigan to build the Nidus, but they didn't remove the algorithm that allows her to Nidus to become to automatically become Omega when Kerrigan reaches level 8, because they didn't need to, because if you remove the algorithm to have it in the first place, then this wasn't necessary. But of course they I think forgot about Abatur, and Abatur being able to still having the Omega Nidus network available, so can still build Omega even if he's paired with Malevolent Matriarch. So then you have both. Only the Kerrigan cannot build Omega, Abatur can. So you have both Super Creep and Omega Network, and that's especially good for the Swarm hosts, because Swarm hosts have double bonus. Swarm hosts no attack, no auto attack, no attack of their own. Instead, they spawn Locust, and they will spawn Locust in according to attack speed buff, so they will spawn locust more frequently, but locust will also have enhanced attack speed, so that will be the double bonus, and you won't need a lot of swarm hosts. They're really powerful. Two fully biomass swarm hosts, P2 of course, I'm talking about P2 because P2 is the prestige for the really good swarm hosts. Then if you have tunneling horror, abattoir plus malevolent matriarch, like if you have only 2 swarm hosts, they are a really good army already. If your ally is malevolent matriarch, and also you, as you won't need a lot of swarm hosts, you will have plenty of gas for several omega networks. You will have mobility and strong swarm host, so that's a really powerful combination. You really should try that. Alarak, I think Alarak can overcharge the omega networks, so kind of when you pop the worm, it can be overcharged with structural overcharge. As for abattoir, one thing I forgot is that that's a bug. Then when the brutalisks enter the omega worm, the symbiotes will stay hovering about that worm and attack the nearby enemies until you don't pop out brutalisks out of the worm somewhere else. So that's kind of small bug that you can exploit. And then we have Stukov. For Stukov, there can be good thing when you have mutators like going nuclear in the first place. Also blizzards, the mutators that can destroy Kerrigan's creep tumors out in the map, so Kerrigan cannot spread the creeps efficiently, especially if you are a malevolent matriarch. You cannot have creep tumors. I mean, you can, but those mutators destroy them. So then Stukov, of course, spreads the creep, and Kerrigan enhances it. So Stukov gets a better army. I mean, faster attack speed and life regeneration, and that creep bonus. Like some bonuses, like Guardian Shell, doesn't apply to Stukov's infested, but creep does, because after all they are made for creep, because Stukov's infested are a lot slower off creep. So with Kerrigan's creep, they are not moving any faster, but they than in normal creep, because that's not what Kerrigan's creep does. It does enhance the attack speed, so they have more attack speed and more life for regeneration. Okay, and then we have the Haka. The Haka has prestige called Primal Contender, which enhances the pack leaders. They deal 50% more damage and have 100% increased life, but the downside is that the Haka exits the map while a pack leader is active, and only one pack leader may be active at a time. But with Kerrigan ally, the Haka can bamboozle, can cheat that prestige by entering the Omega worm, because when it's in the Omega network, the Haka is technically not in the map. So you enter the Omega worm, then you pop out, then you spawn the pack leader, and then you can just unload the Haka back out, and then that way you have both the Haka and the pack leader out. And the same thing you can do with pack leaders. Pack leaders can also enter the Omega. So for example, you enter Murvar into the Omega, and then you pop the Kron, and then you get Murvar back out, and you have both Murvar and the Crown on the field. You only cannot do this with Glavik. Of course, if you have other pack leader, you can do this and then pop out Glavik. But if you already have Glavik on the map, you can't enter the Omega with Glavik, because Glavik is fixed ground, so it's rooted. So when you pop out Glavik, while Glavik is out, you cannot spawn other pack leader. Okay, so that's that's it for the Haka. And one other thing is Zeratul's watchers, Zelnaga watchers, can also enter the Omega network. Okay, Stukov, I forgot. Okay, Stukov can also infest the Omega, but Zeratul's watchers can enter the Omega network, although being air unit, they have that ground attribute. I'm actually not sure about other observers. I think not, but the Zeratul's watchers can, because they've been given that ground unit attribute to be able to enter the void array, because air units cannot enter the void array. Now you may not know that, because Zeratul has no air units except the Watchers and except the Legion, Zoraya Legion, but of course Legion, you cannot control the Legion actively, you can just direct it. So, and it cannot enter the void array. So, if you use Sordat, you will see that stolen enemy ground units can enter the void array too, but air units cannot. So that's why Watchers are made that they can enter the void array, so they can also enter the Kerrigan's Omega network. Okay, so that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you liked it. Like and subscribe if you did, and thanks for watching. See you. Stay tuned. Next Tuesday, of course, will be next commander, and that's Artanis. Thanks again. See you next time.